Alrighty, what's going on, Mario Kart boards? We are back for another matchup for you today. Coming at you with Division 2, coming at you with Lightspeed versus Ascension. My name is Zexus, and I'm joined today by my co-caster.
Dragonfly, hi.
And we're back once again. Another match to be played today. Only one today, though, as this is a regular season matchup for these two teams. Interested to see how this goes, and without further ado, let's just jump right into these lineups. So, taking us away for Lightspeed, we got Kristan, Zesty, Matt, Taka, and Maxi will be running it backwards for Lightspeed. As you can see, we have all their averages on the board. So Zesty right now is taking the highest point average at this point in time, but a whole lot of competition with him around his team. He with Matt, Taka, and Kristan all going to be supporting him. Having Maxi also at the back is another strong bagger. You won't really need to worry too much about. So a strong lineup on the front five for Lightspeed.
Yeah, this is a lineup that basically all of these guys played in D1 last season, except for Maxi, I think. This was a lineup that I would not have been super surprised to see Lightspeed throw out last season. They kind of merged their two teams, but a lot of Team 1 remained, and that's kind of the lineup we're looking at today. Zesty had a super good week 1. It's kind of weird to speak about week 1 and week 2 because it's the Monday, but it's okay. Zesty had a super good week 1. And they're hoping they can build on that, get up a win, pick up a win here. If we look at Ascension's lineup real quick. Cynical. Thank
There
you.
we go.
All right, there we go. Charlie, Kara, Stubbs, Zilla, and Twingy. AC's team is largely unchanged from the team that they won Division 3 with last season. I think a lot of people last season weren't really predicting AC to win, maybe up until the very end, not even. But they beat Lightspeed 2 in the semifinals, and they beat Megavolt in finals, and they took home the D3 title. And, well, you win D3, you show up in D2. They didn't have an amazing week 1. They lost both their matches. So we're kind of looking at two teams. One team which played D1 last season, one team that played D3 last season. So this is, I think AC in general will have a pretty tough season, but this match in particular should be... I mean, I don't think I'm surprising anyone if I think I predict that Lightspeed will win this. But I think AC is a really formidable team, and I'm just really excited to see what they do this division in general.
Definitely. If there's one thing I've seen from watching Ascension in the past, it's to never count these guys and girls down. Ascension obviously doing a fantastic job of being able to, take away wins from teams that you would never expect. They did it again last finals last season where they were able to take D3 when nobody was predicting them to even take it. So they ended up taking that title, and they're looking to kind of continue that presence again in Division 2 as they meet up with Lightspeed in this matchup. And a lot of numbers on the board we see. Kara, Stubbs, and Zilla all pretty close together in points, but Charlie did not play week 1, so Charlie right now is the question mark for this matchup. How Charlie will perform. I've seen Charlie before. I think Charlie's going to do just fine in this match. But it's really going to be interesting to see how they all rally together to see if they can try and take a game off of Lightspeed.
Yeah, last season I think Stubbs and Kara were probably two of their most consistent players, and two players that both scored a lot of points in their matches. But they find themselves a division higher, and I think maybe still just kind of settling into that new level of play that they're facing. But I'm relatively confident that they'll get there at the end. Looking at my other POV, I think there's 5 people in the room, so we'll be waiting just a bit longer.
Okay. Let's talk about the bagging battle here with Maxi against Twingy a little bit here. Well, what are you expecting to see out of these two?
I think these baggers are really evenly matched. They're both baggers that I have a lot of respect for. I've played against Swingy more than I've played against Maxi, but I know that they're both very solid baggers. Maybe among the stronger baggers in this division. I know that the first season of GSC I played in D3, and Boshi had to sub me bagging for a couple of matches. And when he played against Twingy, he was like, okay, well, this is a bit different from the baggers I played against these previous 2 matches, you know what I mean? So, just a small anecdote, I guess. I think my prediction is that bar major RNG problems, which can always happen in bagging, the shot count should be about even.
Definitely have to agree with you there. Seeing both these baggers before, obviously been playing with both of them in the past. Both standout guys per se. So Twingy and Maxi, I think, are going to be able to go toe to toe with each other, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see an even shot count either.
Yeah, we actually have Twingy's POV for this match as well, so we might be able to check in every now and again, see how it's going. Actually, if we switch to Twingy's POV right now, he's warming up. Let's see if he can do the hawk strat here. Oh, that looks good. Lands on the boost panel, gets the flip trick. Not bad, not bad. Well, it's what you expect in Division 2, don't you?
I'd say he's all ready to go for this matchup.
Is he going to go for the strat here? Let's have a look. Oh, he is. Can he make it? Too clean.
Yeah, that's how it's done. That's how it's done, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully he can do it in the match.
All right. Well, I mean, it's D2. This is the level that you expect of the baggers in this division, and Twingy, at least then, is warming up. Definitely living up. All right, we see Zesty just joined the room. 8 people in. That means Twingy is next to join. He'll be on his way through the menus right about now. Let's actually, really quickly, while we have some time, look at week 1 in this division. Let's have a look. Week 1, the matches that were played were... I need to pull it up in Discord real quick. The first match played was, I think, on a Thursday. It was Mount Olympus versus Lethal Vengeance, the other L team. I think Mount Olympus coming into this div as maybe clear favorites. They're boasting players like Kevin, players like Lucid. So they only won that match by 6 points, however, to come 8 GC points. And Mount Olympus' other match this week actually was a tie. It was even closer than 6 points. It was versus EXO. And then in other news, WZ ended up losing both their matches, even though they had Spec, TK, and Hawk playing in both of them. They lost the AV, and then they lost by 90 points, 89 points to Lightspeed in a really dominant win. That's where Sesti gets most of his average from, 132 in that match. AC, as said, lost both their matches, one to EXO, and then another one to Lethal Vengeance. And then I think only one team, let me check the standings to make sure I'm correct, but I think only one team actually ended up going 2-0, which was LZ. So, have you watched any of the matches that happened in D2 last weekend?
I have not, no.
I think LZ winning both their matches. Actually, did Lightspeed also win both their matches? They did not. Okay, so I think LZ looked really solid. Both their matches were pretty. I don't want to say they felt easy for them, but they were definitely pretty dominant. So I guess looking like the team to beat for now, at least. I believe they play at least Wallywogs next week. And one other team. I think Mount Olympus may be looking a little worse than they expected. Kevin put up good scores, but maybe not as much as some people would have guessed. And I think WZ, I was watching their matches and they looked a little bit lost, I think.
A little bit, they're coming, if I'm not mistaken, they are coming back out of being out of it for so long, so maybe it might take them a little while to get back to their form, find their stride going back, but I have faith in the WZ guys.
Yeah. TK coming back after playing Season 1 but not playing Season 2. Spec hasn't played a league since, I want to say, MKPS, I think. trying to shake off the rust a little bit, and Hawk is basically permanently rusty at this point, but if he plays enough this season, I think WZ on paper, if their whole lineup is playing at full strength, is one of the scariest teams in this division.
Definitely, and that's just part of the WZ special. They have a roster full of really talented players, and if they all get back to form, that's going to be a terrifying team to look out for.
Yeah, TK, Hawks, back all have plenty of experience in D1, of course. But I think that's kind of the theme of this Division 2. A lot of teams with players that have significant experience in Division 1, or even teams that have experience in Division 1. I was talking about Lightspeed earlier. AV is playing in Division 2 with players like Olive, players like Ballin that have been playing in D1 for a long time. So D2 is really stacked this season, honestly.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. As always, D1 looking very prominent. 10 players in the room, so it looks like we're getting ready to get into the action pretty soon here as soon as they get this started.
I can stop my rambling about my thoughts on Division 2 so far.
There we go.
So, all right, let's get into it, huh?
Room has started. We are locked in. Lightspeed versus Ascension. We're one war, winner takes all. So let's see it as we bring you right into the action. So,
all right.
Going in, what kind of pick are you expecting to see right off the gate?
Lightspeed is not the team hosting, so they will be picking Mushroom Gorge as is tradition from them. AC, well, I'm going to be really spectacular here. They will pick DDR or Maple Treeway, I think. I think Maple is more of a CT, so maybe that one. I don't know.
I can attest for that.
AC, one of those teams that would probably do really well if there was a mixed RT and CT format.
Yeah, I'd kind of like a anything goes kind of thing.
Although, would you look at that, I was right about the track picks.
Mushroom Gorge on the side of Lightspeed. Seen a little bit of a mix-up on the side of Ascension.
Yeah, that Turbulent pick is a little bit questionable, but it's okay. Let's see, Dread Runes. So for this match we have Matt's POV and we have Stubbs POV. So let's watch Stubbs play this from first. Or never mind. Oh, there we go.
There we go. So Stubbs going for the hop right away, is going to make it, no problem whatsoever. Finds the nice drop, not losing any speed whatsoever. Fib back right off the get-go, but nothing will find no one at that point in time. Looking back to Matt, just behind Stubbs, right in second place. Wall glitch, not too shabby, is going to still fight off for this first, though, trailing the screen, but Stubbs right now staying in first.
Yeah, Stubbs a little laggy. Matt had to concede a little bit of room to make sure it doesn't get trilled. Nana tight misses, Nana up also misses. Goes Nana wide going into the sand up. Takes the mini sand up. I like that actually, make sure you don't get backed. It looks like Zesty made the ultra. Zesty finds his way into first. Blue Shell being held 2-3 for AC so far.
2-3 for AC, 1-4 on the side of Lightspeed, so Blue being held by Matt is going to be big right now, but is going to leave himself vulnerable to any type of items. Is going to
or off-road.
Skid some off-road, and it's going to have to spend some time regaining that Jackson. But back up to Stubbs right now, chilling in second place right now with the single Shroom. Is going to try and get a little bit closer to Zesty, but isn't going to be able to overtake him, unfortunately. But don't think Zesty's too worried about losing that first.
Zesty not going for sand up. Taka coming out of Ultra. Top 2 so far for Lightspeed. I think Blue's still being held. Let's check in with Twingy real quick, see how the baggers are doing. You see Twingy, I think he got that box in 9th. Might have been 10th. Pull shock anyway. Alright, let's quickly go back to the runners.
Oh, but shock just used right there. So, growing right now for Stubbs, right now is chilling in third, holding this single red. It's going to be lobbed up, trying to maybe get a red on Zesty, but to no avail, isn't going to find anything there. TC is going to take out Matt, so that's going to shove him all the way back. Stubbs going to only have to use this Shroom to sustain third, but that's going to be an easy top 2 for Lightspeed.
Yeah, we switched that, not the most fortunate moment, so couldn't quite see what the effect of that shock was in the moment, but I don't think anyone dodged up, or he's not into that top 2. I think just really solid race by Lightspeed. They had 2 members taking Ultra, Zesty on lap 1, or lap 2 rather, Taka lap 2 into 3, and they get a clean top 2 off of it.
Definitely. The nice blue hole too by Matt was able to get it done too, being able to secure that top 2. Kristan finds his way up to 6th, so top 2, 6, 7 is going to even out for the first race for Lightspeed.
Mm-hmm.
So not a bad start so far. They're going to want to go a track that is going to benefit their top spots going into race 2 here.
What an insight. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe Moonview.
Yeah.
I think Moonview is solid. What else could you pick? CM if you're up for it. I think CM is a bit of a coin flip sometimes though.
Yeah, that first box can mean a whole bunch, especially looking for those bottom spots. I was also thinking about DKS on for Lightspeed, and looking like that's what they're opting for.
I try to just not think about DKS in general, so I kind of slipped by me.
You always gotta think about DKS. That's the best track in the game.
All right.
Well, looking like winner, chicken dinner. We are gonna land on DK Summit, so better start thinking about this track because here it is.
Oh, why do I have to think about this track? Okay, anyway. See if stop starting in 3rd can do anything to break into the stop too early on. Interested to see what line he ends up taking into the cannon. I know there's that strat where you enter the cannon far on the left. Doesn't go for it. Finds a red shell in 3rd. Might be able to do something with it. Zesty backs him, but maybe the red shell will get Zesty then.
Maybe, but maybe not, as the fact that Zesty with the quick pull the trigger is gonna keep that top 2 for now, but AC's hot on the trail. Zilla coming up as well. Looks like we're gonna see
That's not making it. Yeah.
Matt, looked like maybe it was also Zesty that failed the double too. And speaking of that, there goes Stubbs. Stubbs is gone too, as he is being taken captive from the chasm as
looking like a 2-3 into cannon for Lightspeed, 1 for AC rather. Yeah, Taka still in 1st. Matt somehow doesn't lose spots for fading double. And we're heading into the double shortcuts, part 2. See who makes it, who fills it.
Part 2. Matt's got a little bit more help though. He's got some shrooms this time, so if he does get himself into trouble, he can always shroom away. And it looks like he's gonna try to, but isn't gonna help him very much there. Matt's failing double once more, so he's gonna take a little turn. A little bit of stoppage from Stubbs, gonna require Shroom to help him take the double for himself, so he's gonna lose a Shroom in that regard. Uses another one, but unfortunately gets some ugly air and is shifted far wide.
Yeah, the double shortcut really is just the single most important part of this track, I think, apart from dodging in the cannon. I just saw Twingy use a bill on his POV, so if anyone has it, it would be a Lightspeed shock here.
It's gotta be Lightspeed. Here it comes.
Well, that looks like an AC shock to me.
Yeah, it doesn't look too much like that, as Stubbs gonna be dodging up. Has Chains a Star, gonna look for the double here. See if he can gets a really bad bounce off it, and unfortunately he's gonna find a whole bunch of value, I can't imagine. So unfortunately might have to steal for 6th even after dodging, but that's gonna be all she wrote on that.
Unless something changed in the top spots because of the shock, I think 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 5, 6 for Lightspeed for AC, so winning by a little bit.
Yeah, it doesn't seem too bad for really either team. It's one of those plus small amounts types of races where, you know, it's nice to get the small win, but it's not gonna change a whole lot. And by the looks of it, that's what it appears for a 1-4.
Swingy stream not having a lot of fun right now, but I think it was indeed 2, 3, 5, 6 for AC.
I have someone on 30 as well. I can't really see with the name being blocked. I think that's Taka. So Taka doing a great job early on. It looks like we're gonna be going
Oh,
into to a reset. It looks like Twingy might have actually froze. So
yeah, that's what it looked like to me, indeed. That is most interesting. Yeah, Stub just said that they're resetting, nothing else. So I guess we're going to be waiting for all the players to join the room so far. Thoughts on these two races?
so it's not bad so far. Race one was just a pretty solid run from Lightspeed. They were able to hold first. They had Matt holding the blue until Taka was able to do the ultra on DDR late lap or early lap 3, I believe, and was able to just hold it down from there. Uh, Second race, things got a little bit more interesting. From every POV it seemed that we had on DK Summit, it was just everyone and their mother was failing double, and it was a little bit of a mess going in that aspect. And then we weren't too sure about the shock, but that came down. But the person who dodged, I'm blanking on his name, didn't really get a whole lot of value out of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I think due to like some of the chaos around double, that top 4 pack was kind of broken away. So that was 1-4 for Lightspeed and 2-3 for AC. And even though Stubbs did dodge up at the end, he gained a couple spots from it, but ended up in 6th. For I think that must have been a small winning race. Yeah, that was actually a winning race by 5 points if you get 2, 3, 5, 6, and 9. So I think AC will be happy with that race. I think my main takeaway from for now is that we've just seen a lot of Lightspeed in first. It was AC for a little bit on DDR until Zesty took Ultra, and then on race 2 on DKS, the Lightspeed just held first the whole race.
Yeah, I have to agree with you there. There's not too much of a sole takeaway as Lightspeed's only up by 2 points after 2. So regardless of all the running, there's not a whole lot to show for it in regards to that. AC is doing a real good job of keeping Lightspeed at bay, and time's really only going to tell if they can keep this up or if Lightspeed's eventually going to get out of control.
Yeah, I will note 2 shocks so far for AC. Maybe if Lightspeed has shock in these races, the races turn out quite a bit different. So we'll see how that shifts around going into the next couple of races. I think generally, if you get to use both shocks, you would really like to be up after 2 races, but things happen sometimes.
Yeah, things happen in the game of Mario Kart. You know, that's just kind of the way she goes. A big roll of the dice, if you will. So.
All right, so we're just waiting for everyone to join. 3 people in the room last time I checked.
I think it's brought up to 5 at this point, so we're about halfway there.
Yeah, talking in divs real quick. We see Taka was the one taking Ultra on DDR lap 3, and he just ran DKS in first the whole race. I think his race was actually relatively calm. So he's on 30 right now. Then there's one person on 16, and there's 3 different people on 14. So Indiv's still relatively close, except for Taka having a solid break in first. Although at the end of the day, Indivs don't really matter, so...
Yeah, at this point too, you know, it's fantastic that like he's managed to hit 30, but it really just kind of boils down to the whole team effort. Like Taka is being able to be facilitated by his team. You know, Matt being able to hold the blue for him on DDR. I was able to really secure him being able to keep that top spot. DKS, a little bit of a different story, of course. Was able to really just run it with no problem. Wasn't a whole lot going on DKS after the lap 1 double, because at that point the damage had already been done.
All right. Players joining the room rather quickly, which is good to see. From my counting, 3, 6. We're just waiting on Maxi to join the room. So I've just eaten dinner and I'm a little full. Maybe let me sit up a bit straighter. All right. Yeah, just honestly not a whole lot to say about these two races so far. Pretty even.
Yeah, nothing too crazy really happened. Kind of like you could almost say it was evenly matched in both regards. You know that there was a top two that was immediately answered back on DKS, and that's pretty much the story of why the score is +2 only right now for Lightspeed after 2 races. So still haven't seen any big races, but we're definitely going to be seeing coming up soon. A more of a team pick going to be where they can capitalize big on it and hopefully look to cash in with a big race.
All right, one thing I will note real quick is that with the reset, this affects how the GP points work a little bit. Usually it's 2 points per GP you win, but in order to minimize the amount of pictures that people need to take, these next 4 races will count as GP2, and then the 4 races after that will be GP3, and then GP1 will be these 2 races we just saw, together with the last 2 races of the war. So what we need to keep in mind, what we want to check back in on is after race 6, going into race 7, we'll look at the scores and we can determine who actually took home the first 2 points of the match.
Okay, fair enough. Well, here we go once again as we are back onto the big screen. Mushroom Gorge getting locked in and Maple Treeway being also looked at on the other side of the coin. So
Yeah, a bit more unified track picks this time around.
definitely for sure, as Maple Treeway is the track that will be getting selected. So definitely a track that plays big dividends for Ascension here. I believe they're the hosting team, so they're going to be starting up in 1-3 as this race gets underway.
Yeah, I think over time the meta here has shifted a little bit. Usually we always see 3 hopping a cut. I know that a lot of teams and players are looking at hopping and cut in 5th now, because as it turns out, having 3rd, be able to contest 2nd and contest that top spot is pretty important. Speaking of, Stubbs gets really bumped there by Taka, so his dreams of contesting top 2 for now are over. Matt was one of the players who hopped and cut. He finds himself as a star in 7th, or not.
Oh, so much for the star. Matt's gonna hop off, trying to take that a little bit too tight. Red coming out for Stubbs, but Bomb gonna be on the ricochet, and that's gonna take out Stubbs too, and then runs into a fib after that. So sitting back all the way in 8th now, no triple shrooms in the back pocket. So maybe he's gonna be looking for something a little bit better here.
All right, if both our POVs are in bottom 2, we can check in with Twingy real quick, see where he's at. He should be hitting the boxes. Yeah, so oh, let's see if he makes this. This is he does not. I don't think he's gonna get up from this. You can keep trying, Twingy, but it's just not gonna work. All right. I think with the time he gave up trying that, both baggers should be back and no shock is in play yet.
Yeah, midst defeat, but looking back in the round, there's Blue coming out, and Shock actually just gets pulled by Twingy there, so AC is gonna have that in their disposal for now. As Stubbs right now holding on to the star, getting bumped by the Wiggler. Mega on the side of Matt.
Yeah, I think that's Kristen with a solid break in first. AC kind of in an awkward spot with this shock, although Matt getting back makes it a bit better. They're 2-3 now, so they could opt to shock Kristen out. Matt should be able to predict that, dodge in his Mega, but we'll see. One of the AC members actually gets taken out. Charlie is just on his own. Matt pretty smartly lets Kara pass.
Mega being used right there through Matt. Gonna go through it. Shock is gonna be used. So is gonna dodge them up. Matt coming out of the cannon, right fresh out into that Mega. Gonna bring himself in the 3rd. Triple Red's being pulled. Zesty is gonna be streaming up, and they're not done there. Here comes Zilla as well on the back side of the star. Is gonna have to try and outrun the threat.
All right. Sorry about that. So I think Charlie in first, Zilla 1-3 for AC.
Oh, with a random bomb out of nowhere!
Bomb.
Hits Matt right on the forehead, and that's going to bring him back. Shock coming in. A late shock right there is going to dodge up Stubbs, and Stubbs is going to get past Matt at least for the extra point, but bring himself up to 6 too. Going to be able to get past those reds on the line from Taka. And yeah, it's looking like a bottom 2 right there for Lightspeed.
Yeah, I thought AC was kind of in a rough spot, but through baby smart play, they were able to actually find a good cannon shock, I think. And even though Matt did dodge, it ended up just not being the biggest of deal because there was a bomb on his face. And 1-3-4-6 for AC, so that'll put them in the lead. Once again, another shock by Twingy, by the way. So that's his third one so far.
Yeah, Twingy doing good, and right now is being the difference maker here as Ascension finally get their first notoriously decently big race of the match with a nice 1-3-4-6 on Maple Treeway.
Mm-hmm. I honestly did not think that that AC would be able to find a good cannon shock there, but I think with one of AC getting hit out, they were able to dodge a couple of their bottom spots. Matt used his Mega really well though. First tried to like bait slowing down a bit, and then just used his Mega before going into cannon. So he knows that even if they shock him out, he'll just still be in the Mega and he'll dodge the shock, right? So, um, well played on his end.
Yeah, had some great usage there. Looks like Gardens is going to be looked at by Lightspeed and BC64 on the other side for Ascension. But Ascension already doing not too bad. They're up by oh, actually that's Lightspeed up by 11. Is that
No,
right?
that is AC. No, that's AC up by 11. I think Cineco might have made a small mistake somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, it should be updated now. Technical difficulties aside, we are going into Peach Gardens, and let's see how Matt plays this from 8th. I imagine he's going to sit here at least. Be interesting to see how many people drive. Actually, quite a lot, and he gets a box in 7th that stop and doesn't get rewarded for it, though. Stops pulled a star, I would imagine, if he's not taking cut. Yeah, if this was Triple Shrooms, he is in such a good position to win this race, but as it is, it looks like at least one of Charlie and Zella got shrooms, maybe both, because they are pretty far gone in top 2. This is a good moment to look at Twingy's POV real quick. I think probably most crucial moment of the war coming up here. He has a golden in 10. He should be touching another box in 10. Let's see what he finds here. As it turns out for baggers, this shortcut here is also probably the most important part of the track.
Yeah.
All right, Matt meanwhile gets taken out. Truman 6th. I think he's just gonna slow down and then, drop behind his 2 teammates. Kristen is holding something there. Stubbs taking cut, trying to mega the people that pass. I think he might have actually got one of them there. I think AC is top 4. Twingy's driving with bid and 10, but he hasn't a good enough break to where he should be able to lose and get another box. He pulls another build. That is just rough.
Yeah, very unfortunate. It looks like that might be the case as Lightspeed shot coming in. Seeing at least what looks like 2 dodging as Kristan and Taka both look like they are dodging up. So
I love how you say that, Kristan.
Kristan.
All right, let's see what Matt finds for himself in 6th here. Triple shrooms. That's kind of what he was looking for, I would imagine. We see Zilla in 5th, Taka in 4th, Kara is there as well somewhere. Kristan. Trying to like get a gauge of what the spots are. Okay, we'll be able to see it more clearly now. Ooh, Shrooms up immediately gets greened. Shrooms into the greens rather.
Shrooms up, but here we go, looking like a last second shot coming in. Shock in the boxes right now. Stubbs is going to sit for a little bit, try and get something of big value, but only gets a blooper, so that's going to be it for his race as he gets bricked up. Taka dodging up in the bill, so that's going to bring him in the top slots. TC on the line is going to take out Kristan. So Kristan's going to have to sit back in a bottom slot, unfortunately, after dodging. So tough race for Kristan.
I think we're still looking at least a top 2 for Lightspeed. I think that was their shock again as well. Twingy just encountering some not very good luck, pulling a lot of bills.
Yeah, the back-to-back bills, especially in 10th, is a rough one, but I'm honestly certain before he even hit the second bill, Maxi already had shock, so. And
Charlie actually got first. That is... I thought for sure one of the Lightspeed members would have gone first there.
Take a look at that. Also, Charlie's time for the 30 points, too. So, Charlie's showing Taka he knows how to do it as well, as Charlie's coming up big in this GP.
I guess somehow after that first shock and after the shortcut lap 3, Charlie must have been in first. And he must have been the name that the battle bug never actually showed us.
Yeah, that would make sense, so.
All right. 1-4. I think.
I got like 146, I believe, for Ascension. So coming up with a very small deficit, small
Yeah.
win by the looks of it.
No, Lightspeed won that race by 1 point, in fact.
Oh, did okay? I knew it was like it had to have been like +1, but
I will note that after 6 races, Charlie, then new person in AC's lineup, didn't play last week, is on 44, really making a bit of a difference so far.
yeah, already getting it done super early into the match. So Charlie's doing a great job so far, but let's see if Charlie can keep it up as Waluigi Stadium is next on the list to be selected. So that's where we're heading next.
Mm-hmm.
10-point lead right now on the side of Ascension, so not too comfortable, but a little bit of a gap. So not too bad whatsoever. Sub's going a little bit wide here, trying to find a better box. Is going to hit a box in 6th and gets himself a mega. So he does have a dodge if he opts to hold it going forward, or if he decides to just completely burn it now. Going to get himself into those top positions, gets himself in 2nd. Taka right now is occupying 1st.
Yeah, I like that, honestly. Just making sure you're at least one of those top 2 spots. I didn't see any of AC taking gun in front of him, so I really like that call.
Yeah, definitely a good bomb. Looking for the snipe on 1st, looking like just a little bit short of Taka. As it also looked like AC was a little bit behind subs as well. I think Charlie's nearby, so AC looking like they might have 2-3 at the moment. Is going to clip a little bit of dirt though, so that's going to put him back a little bit.
Yeah, that is pretty unfortunate misplay. Matt looking to take the golden strat will probably chain this into the turn skip as well with his golden. Nice and clean.
Very nice too. Gets himself a nice little shroom to boot, but is going to hop around the banana and is going to spin into Charlie's trail of greens, so that's going to put him back a little bit. Stubbs right on triple reds. Going to try and see if he can have something to say onto Kriston, as Kriston is trying to shroom away by the looks of it. Pulls out of red zone for a little bit of protection, and looks like he's going to be able to evade Stubbs' reds, no problem, but Aka might have to worry about something else, as here comes the blue shell with his name on it, so
I think ultimately that interaction after that hump was definitely Lightspeed favored because everyone got slowed down for the most part, or at least a good couple people. So Taka in first was able to just break away a little bit more. HP Pao, however, actually handles that really well, does a hop trick to make sure he doesn't get powed. He's gonna get TS here though. I saw Twingy have the shock on our other POV. Yup, TS comes in.
yep, and Stubbs got this TC too. He's gonna have to be real. Oh, but he is gonna make it actually. So
Yeah, it
Stubbs
just
finds
makes it
some
to the
freedom.
line. Twingy with another shock.
Another big shock for Twingy too. So that keeps Lightspeed at the first, gives Stubbs the first instead actually, and that might shape out to be a pretty solid race for Ascension.
Shock on Waluigi Stadium is, as everyone knows, immensely powerful. That TS spot is so brutal. And Twingy really helping his team out.
Yeah, top 3-5 right there.
Top 3-5, and they're sprinting away now. They're up like 35 points. That is not an easy lead to just close like that.
Definitely, that's a big race for Ascension. That's what I was saying. Is you can never really count Ascension out, even if you think that, it's a mountain they have to scale. They're usually pretty good at scaling it, and seeing that on display once again with Ascension being a beautiful top 3-5 on Lightspeed.
Mm-hmm.
But
Honestly, I think Lightspeed did a lot of things right that race, but even though Matt was able to deal with the POW at the end very well, he got the hop check, made sure it doesn't get POW'd. It looked like the POW definitely kind of ruined the other 2 members in top 3. It's honestly one of the most dangerous target POW spots in the game. Just well executed by Lightspeed by AC to salvage that race.
yeah, AC does a real great job of completely messing them up, and there's not a real whole lot of response to do there, as that's after item set, and there's a whole bunch of off-road dirt around, so you're kind of just stuck there pondering what you're gonna do next. Maybe grab a book or something, I don't know.
I
But
mean that is what I was planning to do after this cast. I bought a new book. It's called All the Seas of the World. It's like historical fantasy. So I'm gonna read that off there. But top three for AC as we start. One of the most famous top three tracks in BCW. It looks like the Insabek strat came out. Triple shrooms from Matt. He's hoping to be able to get into first. Should be able to actually. Really cleanly executed there by Matt. Finds his way into first. Is in a bit of a 1v2 though. So let's see if he's able to hold this.
Yeah, Matt with like very nice shroom usage right there. So brings him into first. Not really having a care in the world to say about that, but Stubbs right now is on the chail, followed by Charlie too. So 2-3 right now for the side of Ascension, and they're gonna have to try and put a little bit of pressure on Matt, see if they can get him out of this first place.
Yeah, Matt from this position is looking to get some backspams off, and this is one of those tracks where having first gives you so much control over the race in general. That was a really nice attempt, by the way, by Matt. But Twingy has shock again, so we might even he is in 10th. We might even see a TS coming in this lap. A little bit of a laggy green, but triple green's probably the best item Stubbs could have had here. It's gonna make it so he goes.
Oh, but
through.
Matt hits a net and he's off.
I was about to say, make sure he can go through most of the backspam, but not needed, I suppose. Although he does get blued here. Yeah, no TS needed either.
You go Matt going for the wall glitch, but isn't going to make it. Going to fall a little bit short. We see Kara activate the bill as well, so Kara's on her way up as Charlie sits in the first, Kristan behind, followed by Stubbs in third. So Kristan in a little bit of a Ascension sandwich, as he's going to have to keep it up as more Ascension follows, as Kara is sitting in fourth right now. So.
Oh, didn't really impact anyone. Kara has herself a TC, 1-3-4-5 for the moment, however. And still that Lightspeed chalk that is going to come into play. Maybe even just a TS on second? No. Matt finds himself a Mega. Stubbs is off the track.
Stubbs is unfortunately off. Matt with this Mega in fourth, might off the chain here.
No,
Does
I
not
think
the chain, is going to hold.
he might just predict a blue cancel here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Mega.
Blue
Zilla
coming out, here
should
it
have been able to
comes.
see that. Shock still gets called, and I mean, well predicted by Matt.
Well, yeah, this looks like it's Matt's race to win. A little bit a little bit dangerous with that green there, but man, just get away with it unscathed, no problem. Charlie looking like still holding out second place. Stubbs finds another TC, evades a back red by Taka, and not much else needed to be said after that. Looks like he's gonna have to settle for 7th.
Yeah, I think 1-3 and then 5-6 maybe for Lightspeed. I feel like Zilla should have been able to see that that Matt was in a Mega there, and he should have been able to prevent Shock from getting used, but not quite, I suppose.
Maybe not, but his mistake is Matt's gain, as Matt takes first. No real problem to say about that. 1-3-4-6 as Lightspeed does, and that's going to help take away that lead a little bit, chipping away from that top 3-5 that Ascension had previously got. So on the right path, I will say that Lightspeed is tracking down. As
So I said earlier we need to check in after race 6. Race 6 has just happened, and AC ended up winning this GP by 24 points. Rep 22, Charlie on 68, and then Taka on Zestos on 55 and 52 respectively. But AC has 2 points in the bag.
yeah, so find themselves a few points for themselves as getting ready to hop into, I guess technically the final GP, but not so much final GP. But
Yeah, technically we are playing GP3, but after GP3 there's just 2 more races. That's just how it is. I think Twingy is getting. He's just playing really well. We've seen him like it felt like most of the time where we watch his POV, he found himself in 10th somehow, some way, and really able to help AC come to some pretty good races. Although the shock on BCW was maybe a little bit questionable.
yeah, chalk usage really doesn't really come down to Twingy. Unfortunately, he doesn't really have eyes on whether Matt's in a Mega or not. Unfortunately, but is doing a great job getting the best of Maxi so far, coming out into the first. 6th, midway point of the match. So Maxi gonna be looking for a vengeance. Hopefully he can get some shocks for Lightspeed going into the last half of this. Mushroom Gorge getting picked, so
I
that's
mean,
where we will be headed.
I think on one hand you could argue that if the bagger hears activate, he's pressing the button, but at the same time, from my experience bagging, if my teammate in first calls activate, but I hear someone else say they're mega, I've definitely just not used shock before in those sort of scenarios. It is a decision you can make if you trust your team enough and yourself enough.
Definitely, it all really comes down to if the mega was even called. And there's no real way to know that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so far AC into 3. I think that's Chris in it first. Blooper and a bomb up maybe. Just
Bomb
gonna hit
up. Looks like
anyone.
there's another bomb as well, but that one
Char
fell into the chasm.
Charlie had a shroom in first. He takes cut. Scylla and Zesty also take cut. But back is still really tight, so we're just playing lap 1 again, I suppose.
Yeah, not really a whole much to it, you know. Mega right now being held by Matt more so at the back half.
Even if there's no power, I'm chaining that every time.
Oh yeah.
You need shrooms on this track. Blue shell got thrown, I think. Someone gets blued.
Maybe.
No box there for Stubbs. Box here in 5th. Shrooms. Triple shrooms.
Does get triples, so he's looking pretty good. Matt right now, golden strat, and that's gonna bring him into first. So Matt's gonna be chilling, finds himself into that premium spot. Right behind him is followed by Stubbs though. Charlie right now sitting in 3rd too. So AC occupying 2-3 are gonna look to put some pressure on Matt once again to see if they can take him out of this first place spot. Green lob coming up, but he's gonna ping himself though.
I think in general Stubbs should have really gone for a box there. You're in 2nd. You have I think 3 boxes for shrooms, 1 at 2nd set, and then 1 here, and then 1 on the other mushroom here. And if either of those 3 boxes is a shroom, you win. Oh, this DC might go to the line actually. He might
like
just
a money pull.
no, he only gets 2nd out of it. 1-3 for Lightspeed. I think 1-3-4.
A134 looking like Kristalin not too far behind, so
Oh, that is niche. Trying to drop shrooms for the gap jump. That is. I think Twingy was actually working on a compilation of like those sort of strats you can do with stars and shrooms, and this one must have definitely been in there. That is niche.
such a silly word.
I love it so much. But there's a couple places on different tracks where you can do something like that. Kara actually gets 4th, 135 for Lightspeed. You can, for example, drop shrooms in the off-road in DDR at the end. You can drop shrooms before the respawn on GV. That is hilarious. Also, you can use the box on RDS to drop shrooms in the shortcut. I've won my fair share of races doing that, or I've made sure we won a fair share of races doing that. The effect of that race... Yes?
You're gonna straight up tell me in the entire chat that you sit here and win races on Mario Kart Wii?
Yeah, bro. Crazy.
Come on. We all know you're lying. You don't gotta flex.
All right. The effect of that race, however, is that AC's lead goes from 22 down to 13. So 1 or 2 more of those races, and Lightspeed will have the lead backs for the first time since race 2. Race 1, even. No race 2. Memory is hard. Memory is a fickle thing, and it does not always work in my favor.
That's just the way she goes, though, as seeing some Sherbetland action as the pick not so sus anymore, but DK Mountain is something we're going to be seeing going in, so interesting to see this one. You don't see this track a whole heck of a lot.
There's a couple teams and players that like it a lot. I know MW picks this all the time. It's one of those tracks that if your team likes it and is good at driving it, it is definitely worthwhile picking.
Have to agree with you there, as start of this race, Matt just going to continue his way into first right now, and
looking pretty comfortable with his driving so far. But it's really this downhill section where a lot of the magic happens. So let's see what Stubbs is able to do.
Does evade the back now. Might look for a snipe here coming up on Matt.
That
Looks real close, but no connection, unfortunately. So is gonna keep that first. Stubbs trailing. Gonna be looking for maybe some breads, maybe even a shroom to try and catch up to him a little bit. And there's the shroom right there. So does evade that.
Okay,
green.
That green was really close.
Yeah.
Matt lagging off the track for a little bit, but lags back on. 1-3, I think, for Lightspeed.
Lightspeed, another green coming up. Kara on the way upstream is back up. The fib dropped as well by Matt, but both AC members managed to evade it. So, like Kara might does overtake first. So Matt playing second fiddle for now, but AC's looking pretty good so far.
Both baggers seem to still be sitting at the set. No shock in play as of yet. Yeah. The combination of cannon plus sitting tracks can lead to some, well, frustrating moments, let's say. That
That was a
was a
little
weird
bit.
noise.
That was a little bit. Oh, but Stubbs is getting bumped off, unfortunately, after
Yeah,
being passed.
I was watching Matt drive around Stubbs. He was able to outline him. I was waiting to see what happened. Stesty, I think, shrooms into first. 1-3 again for Lightspeed. And no shock in play yet.
Yeah, Kara also having to take a blue. Unfortunate for her, but so hopefully she can find her way back up to the front soon. Another blue right now being picked up by Stubbs, so that might get launched relatively soon as Zesty right now is holding up first. Here comes that blue, so with Zilla right now occupying second, might be looking to overtake.
Yeah.
Zilla right now chilling in first. Takes it a little bit wide, though. Matt's going to have to be careful, though, because Zilla's got that red, and Matt not so much, but...
That was... I think Zilla's off. I think Zilla fell off.
Zilf? Yeah, Zilla did fall off, so... That's...
I want to compliment Matt on how well he took that ending section, was able to get past Zilla without hitting his trail, but Zilla just falls off, and that's top 3.
Yeah, I'm not really too sure about that one, because, like, he had the red. Matt wasn't trailing anything. He didn't even have anything. All Zilla really had to do was he could have just slowed down and let him eat the red. But I guess he went for the outlining option instead, which obviously didn't work out in Zilla's favor as Zilla fell off. And now looking like Lightspeed's going to be turning the tides to put them in the lead now.
Yeah, up 10 points in the lead for the first time since race 2. That was a really back and forth race, 2 blue shells, but really that is just on Zilla getting outplayed by Matt, I think. I'm kind of curious how that would have looked from Zilla's POV, though.
Yeah, me as well. That looked truly interesting. I wonder if it was like not so much maybe a fall off, but maybe a bump off. Like maybe Matt got the better of Zilla and just smacked them off the track, but not entirely sure. That looked real close between both of them.
All right, well, top 3, BCWii is gone. Let's see what they want for top 3. Maple's also gone. Eyeing Rainbow Road, maybe? Possibly?
Not against it. Hey, right you are. Well.
Yeah. I've been watching an odd amount of Rainbow Road lately because for some reason both Team 1 and Team 2 on MY13 like it quite a bit. We kind of Team 2 kind of just won the qualifier because Boshi is really good at Rainbow Road. So, all right, but well, cost is curse, I suppose.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But no Rainbow Road today, as Grumble Volcano is what we're looking at here.
That is just how it works. You talk about a track, it doesn't get picked. Easy as that.
I mean, if that's the case, then I'm always going to talk about Rainbow Road.
Damn. All right, Matt in first, looking to just see how far he can drive.
Charlie getting swifty with those greens, though. Just a little bit wide of hitting that first place spot. But right now, Stubbs right now chilling in third. Top 2 at the moment for Lightspeed is going to save this for the Rock Hop, I can only assume. And here we go. Let's see if he can do it. Makes it real nicely. And that's going to carry on Stubbs in the first. So Ascension finds their way up there. But blue being pulled by Matt. And that's going to be lobbed right away. So Stubbs is going to have to deal with that. Unfortunately, Random Green is going to pick up Kara. Kara brings on triple reds. Bomb gets dropped by Matt, but doesn't find Kara. But a whole bunch of shenanigans are going on to the back of this pack here. Everyone is getting hit. Nice golden in 5th by Matt, though, so is going to be able to do something real nice with this.
All right, looking at the bagging battle real quick, we don't have to. Well, we are showing it. So basically, what is happening here is even though you can technically drive all the way back on this track, when you're actually doing the strat, you're basically forced to give up a box in 10. And the meta has shifted lately to where, at least in higher divisions, baggers usually opt to just play it like a sitting track because going for strat is so risky if the other bagger can get boxes in 10 while you're doing it. As I say though, Twingy found himself, I guess, an opportunity to make it. And
Ah,
has a shock.
and Twiggy gets shocked. Just easy as pie, I guess. I don't know. He's just built
So
different, I guess.
Stubbs probably should be winning this race here, or rather, I think you just activate the shock here. There's two of you in respawn and only one of them.
Yeah.
So we see Kara, Stubbs, and Kristen dodging. They should be getting top. I don't know.
Someone got
Was that
bumped. Was
was
that?
that Taka in first?
I'm not sure. I saw Kristan up there too, but I wasn't really too sure what
Yeah,
happened to Chris.
Kristan was one of the three people that dodged in respawn. So I thought that those three would have been getting top three, but didn't quite look like it.
I am confusion. Okay, so yeah, looking like that is Taka getting first. 135 for Lightspeed.
Yeah, really decisively taking the lead. Now they're up 21. They are definitely winning this GP. But AC has 3 races to bring it back.
Yeah, Lightspeed
Which
really
is
turned this match on its head, and for the better of Lightspeed, as they pretty much turned it up ever since that top 3-5 race from Ascension, and Lightspeed's just kind of flipped everything on its head, and they're playing their game. It's working out for them, and they're really just looking to continue this momentum.
Yeah, Lightspeed hasn't actually used a ton of shocks themselves, but I think they've been playing around AC shocks incredibly well.
Yeah,
They've made it just really hard for AC to actually find good shocks, I think.
yeah, I have to agree with you. A lot of the AC shocks have usually only been dodging, 1, 2 people at best, from what it seems like, and
I, th-
that.
I think the only shock that was really that important was that RWS shock, where they did get the top 3-5 race. But for the rest, just doing a really good job playing around the shock.
Yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. There's not really much else to say. Sherbertland is getting selected for the last track of the this final GP with 2 also races to go to boot, but see if Ascension can find something here, try and swing this more closer to a tie before approaching these final 2 races.
Yeah, if Lightspeed gets a decent winning race here, it's going to be really hard for AC to get it back into races. Matt finds a draft, but drafts into the red shell and is off the track. Zilla has a TC on his head, looking to maybe pass that. Doesn't look like he will be able to. Still AC. I was going to say in top 2, but only first now because that was a nasty fib.
A nasty fib snipe followed by the star off Kristan. That's going to send Stubbs all the way to the back. Looking at Matt right now, has found himself closer to the pack despite falling off early lap 1. Stubbs right now goldening up all the way to closer to this mid pack, as Matt sitting in 7th right now holding up this star in case his bagger manages to find the shock for Lightspeed, but only time will tell for that. Stubbs box in 5, Blue being pulled, but Blue he will have to hold it as Charlie is occupying first place.
Yeah, and I think we're looking at 2-3 for Lightspeed. That is Taka and one name I can't quite see that well, actually. Battle Bug not really working in my favor for now. Anyway, 2-3 for Lightspeed, that's all that matters. Says Matt gets a draft. 2-3-4, that is. That was a bomb.
Tries
That's
to
really
bomb
close.
Stubbs, but Stubbs manages to evade that bomb, pretty much going through it at that point, but looking good right there. TC for Matt looking to pass off this TC to Stubbs, and might want to try and hold it back. Tries to pass it to a bagger, but no luck there, as he is going to be losing this blue shell.
Passing it to the Lightspeed bagger there would have been huge because that would have given Twingy a good couple chances to get it in the 10th, probably. Pao being called probably by Taka, trying to get a target Pao off. Doesn't quite look like it works. Stubbs, meanwhile, has another TC on his head. Manages to pass it to Zesty.
Stubbs past the TC to Zesty. Very well done by Stubbs. Bill being activated. That's going to be Kristan in the Bill. That's going to hit up Stubbs. Mega being used by Kara in case there's one of those last second shocks come up. But looking like we might end up seeing a shockless race here.
Yeah, I think Charlie ended up getting first, 2, 3, 4, however, for Lightspeed. And this war is going to be very difficult to still win for AC.
Yeah, and AC is going to have to climb up a mountain here. Twingy finally finds the shock, but fortunately the race is already over, so isn't going to get much of a benefit there. But Lightspeed coming out with another solid race. That's going to put AC on the backbone for these last two, so
Mm-hmm.
they're going to have to find something and find something fast if they want to try and get back into this. 2, 3, 4, 7 for Lightspeed, so doing a real good job, staying up in these top spots and being able to secure, even with what feels like it's Twingy being the big name in the shock game right now.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Lightspeed taking home 2 points, winning the third GP technically. So 1 GP each currently for Lightspeed and Ascension, but Lightspeed in a commanding position to take home the last 6 points that are to be divided. Lightspeed was up 2 after 2 races, so if AC wants to win the GP point at least, they will need to win the next 2 races by more than 2. Surprise.
Yep, 100%. As they are getting, seeing a host change for the last two.
Yeah, I think so. After the reset, that was a race where AC got 2, 3, 5, and 6. And I think AC wants those spots back, but AC was hosting the match, and obviously a Lightspeed player will have to host in order for the spots to be given back.
Ah, yes, fair enough, fair enough. Right, you are. So, what are your thoughts on this match going into the last 2 races?
It's been decently competitive, but overall, I definitely feel like Lightspeed has been playing a little bit better. Really, I think AC was playing pretty solid GP2, but they also pulled a lot of shocks that GP, or like the 4 or so races, 3 to 6 that is. And I think these last couple of races, Lightspeed really just kind of muscling through and showing that at this moment in time they are maybe just a better team. But 2 races left, anything can happen.
Anything can happen for sure. It's still lots of well, not so much lots of games we played. Only 2 races, unfortunately, but you definitely have time to make up. So if they want to do it, it's ball is completely in their court to see if they can pull this. As going into these, what track are you thinking they're gonna want to go here?
So, I mean, RWS is already gone. 2, 3, 5, 6. I don't know what they're looking at. I'm trying to think. Maybe you can just pick KC here, but I mean, KC works with everything. So I don't think getting the spots back was necessary for that. I am not sure what tracks we will see. It might honestly be a 10 people picking BC3 angle.
I'm down. I am so down.
Yeah, I'm down. BC3 is a cool track.
I can be down the clown.
Yeah, we will take a short break while we wait for the people to join the room. So we'll be back basically when the room starts again.
All right, see you guys shortly.
All right, and we are back with the last 2 races of Lightspeed versus AC. My screen says that we are indeed preparing the race.
Actually, it says please wait a moment, but close enough.
I mean, we just waited a moment, so...
At least it's accurate.
No BC3s, Warriors Goldmine, that must be the Lightspeed pick, and then Koopa Cape, yeah. I kind of weird spots, I suppose, to actually force the spots back, but pretty standard track pick still.
Yeah, nothing you wouldn't be shocked you haven't seen before, but as we are finally looking at this roulette, KC, Koopa Cape, is the track that is selected.
Setting track to begin with. AC really needs like at least a plus 10 or honestly even a plus 15, I think. So we'll see if they're able to make anything work on this track. All right, Matt starting in 7th is going to be looking to get some shrooms, maybe get Sweetie Bumped immediately, but not the biggest of deals. Stubbs finds himself triple greens in 3rd, will be able to take the shroom bar, should be able to get into 1st momentarily, and Matt will be taking the golden strat. Doesn't actually go for the shroom bar, that is interesting, and I think they should just take Matt all the way to 1st.
If not, pretty darn close, but is joined by his old pal Taka, so Lightspeed's going to be running up in top 2 at the moment. Tristan not too far away, looking like he's occupying 5th, so Lightspeed looking pretty good at the start of KC, going to the back end of lap 1. Star drop, unfortunately, isn't able to be shared, but good enough for Taka to be able to take it and do the cut.
Yeah, I think Taka could have honestly afforded to slow down a little bit more to share that star, but not the biggest of deals. At least Matt should be able to take this room by here. I hope. Or no, actually, it's Taka taking it first. Did he dodge the blue with that? That would have been absolutely huge, but not quite to be, I guess. This time it stops with the golden nade. Let's see how far it takes him.
Do like the creativity trying to use that shroom with a dodge the blue. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out, but I'll give points for creativity. As
I've seen some insane clips doing that.
Oh yeah.
I was almost able to choose a box in 10 there, but not quite. Stop's kind of just holding a bomb, unsure what he wants to do with that. They might have shared. I'm hearing in my earphones that they did share the star. It's just a little bit laggy. Back bomb, I think that's Kristen. 2-3-4 for AC with a decent break, so we see Silla getting TS'd in the Roomba, and that must have been a Lightspeed shock. Yeah, we see Taka dodging and Bill.
So Taka dodging back up, that's going to bring Taka to 3rd with a top 3 by the looks of it from Lightspeed?
Top 2.
Top 2?
Yeah, Zilla's in 3rd.
Ah, okay. Oh, not for long.
I need to stop saying stuff like that because it never works. Alright, Red Shell at Taka. Reds don't really break here. Well, I really should stop talking, shouldn't I? Huh?
Reds don't really break there, the red breaks.
Yeah, Lightspeed's winning the...
Triple Red's being picked up by Stubbs. That's gonna be Kristan trimming up. That brings him in 3rd.
That is Cardin's. Lightspeed will be up more than 41 going into the last race. So I guess AC just playing for probably close to a top 4. They will need to actually win the GP.
Yeah. Well, is that like a 3 times caster curse in a span of like 10 seconds?
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, impressive.
Impressive to you, unfortunate to Ascension.
Yeah, not quite ascending, huh?
Well, I guess it really depends on who you ask.
The thing is, my curse is that I absolutely can't stand jokes like that. But at the same time, when I see them, I can't help but say them. It's so bad as well. Like, why did I say that? Why?
Could you say that you've officially ascended?
Yes.
Nice.
I have ascended from this mortal realm, and I'm now playing Mario Kart Wii with the gods.
Yeah.
Alright, GV2 seems to be, well, two really opposite of the spectrum tracks, huh? In GV2 and Rainbow Road. Let's see which one it will be. GV2 will be over quickly at least, but Rainbow Road. We get to see it after all.
Dang it! But as it is, Rainbow Road gets selected for the last race of the match. As
Yeah,
Ascension,
AC is looking at needing a top 3 and then I think maybe 6th in order to win the GP. Stubbs with a draft, somehow able to worm his way into first. If he's able to hold this, that would be quite ideal. Is Kristen on the track still? Charlie finds his way in the second, and this top 3 that we saw for Lightspeed really turns around in an instant, as Matt also runs into Charlie's trail.
Matt gets knocked down, bomb explosion, but does not connect with Stubbs. Looking like that moves into a top 2-4 right now for Ascension. It did look like Kristan did get bumped off, so Kristan's going to be at the back for now, but wouldn't rule him out quite yet. As not too much. Taka gets the side ride off on Stubbs though, so that's going to break into their top 2. Matt brings a blue shell, so gonna send that one out to Charlie's way, so that's gonna
Uh,
put him down as
that is
TC.
so unfortunate. There's nothing Stubbs could have done about that. Silla still finds himself in first, but if that front red and like the very early blue shell don't happen, I think AC is in a fantastic spot to maybe try to get the GP points. So
Yeah, unfortunately, they got dealt a pretty rough card, so it's just kind of Zilla right now, chilling in first, and a lot of ACs just kind of doing what they can to try and break up the damage.
they got dealt one singular card, and it was not good.
Yeah, no, it was like a 2 of clubs.
That could be good in some card games, maybe. I think. Can't think of
Yeah,
some card games where I want that.
in most cases, you never want the low card.
Well, because the 2 is the lowest cards, there's like some card games where it like flips around, or where it has like some special abilities. Wait,
Oh!
where did that star come
Did
from?
that star come from Zilla?
I think it did. I think Zilla actually had us. I think Zilla had a start in first,
It just get
and
pounded out of Zilla, and Zilla just didn't use it. So
no, I think Zilla made the calculate. Like Zilla guessed that he would still be in the air when the POW hit, and he thought holding onto the star would be like worth enough to risk that, but it doesn't pay off. And the blue like an instant later as well, of course. That's just how the game works.
Stubbs billing up, popping that right in 7th. That's gonna take him to 4th, drops him, sets him back in the 5th. Taka behind him. Matt's gonna cross the line, being able to
Yeah,
secure
top
that.
2 for
Kristan
Lightspeed.
not too far away. Taka gonna be evening it out for 5th place, and that's all Lightspeed today, baby. As they're gonna be taking this match.
Yeah, Lightspeed takes this match 8-2. That last race really more than a little bit unfortunate, I could say, for AC. They really, I think, did close to everything right, but I mean, sometimes it's just not meant to be.
Sometimes it's just not meant to be. As AC will be sent home packing with only 2 points to their name, but 2 is better than none at least. So at least they're able to take something off of Lightspeed. As
I think AC can be relatively happy with how they played this against what I think is shaping up to be one of the stronger teams in this division. But still, just annoying that they couldn't quite get more than the single 2 points out of it.
yeah, I definitely think they would have liked to have a little bit more, but fortunately coming out short. So that will be the end of that.
Yeah, I think we can get to sort of rounding up the stream. I think anything else you want to say about the match as a whole?
Uh, not too much. Big surprises. I definitely was expecting the Shocks to be a little bit more even, but I think Twingy did a great job at really getting the best out of Maxi from what it seemed like. It seemed like a lot of the Shocks were in AC's favor. but Lightspeed did a really good job of negating a lot of them or being able to play around them. And
Yeah, I want to again highlight Charlie real quick. He didn't play last week. Comes into the OU this match and he scores 110. Playing a really solid match. The rest of ACU, unfortunately, lagging a little bit behind. So I hope to see more of Charlie, and I hope that he can maybe carry AC to some victories later in the season.
yeah, a very hats off performance from Charlie. Played fantastic, and hopefully we'll be able to continue that spree into the upcoming games.
All right, with that, I was Dragonfly, and with me was Zexus, and we presented to you Division 2 Ascension versus Lightspeed, and I think we're heading off. So I hope everyone enjoyed watching, and we will see you guys on the next cast.
Have a good night, everyone.